Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, welcome to our presentation. We are going to present about our FYP, that is Smart Waste Segregation System for Public Application. Without further ado, let us introduce ourselves first. So, my name is Muhammad Rasydan bin Abdul Rashid as a project designer and software developer, and my partner Muhammad FARHAN bin Muhammad FARID as a thesis and hardware developer, supervised by our lecturer Dr. Muhammad ASHRAF bin HAIRUDDIN. Therefore, we start our presentation with introduction. So, why we want to build the waste management system so much? This is because our world is moving toward Industrial Revolution 4.0. It is to build an environment in which virtual and physical production processes work together. So, one of the IR 4.0 technologies is artificial intelligence. In Malaysia, we are going to implement artificial intelligence as much as we can in our daily life, including managing our waste. It is to build the ecosystem where decision making is made by the robots or model. This is because to increase the accuracy and consistency of the work due to the ability of system to work 24/7 compared to humans. Therefore, implementation of the AI in the waste management will increase smart system where it able to help people to classify the type of waste. I know that bunch of smart bin has been built at the market, but the focus is the capability of system to identify the type of waste and also children-friendly user interface. Next, we are moving to the problem statement. So, what problems that driven us to do this project? So, first is human error issue, where it incorrectly identify the waste type before throw it into the correct recyclable bin. For example, they throw the plastics into glass recyclable bin. This will let the recyclable bin make no difference on collecting and segregate the waste. Next is insufficient time issue. Most of the working peoples and students have very limited time for having their lunch. Hence, they have no time to classify the waste type before throw it into the bin. As a result, the recyclable bin is full with the junk food and disposable waste. Next is public awareness. Technology is one of the best educational methods for public. Designing a system that helps them to classify the waste correctly is one of the efforts to educate the peoples to throw the waste to the correct bin, including the children.
Next, I will explain about objective in this final year project. We have to design the smart waste segregation system that can identify the type of waste before the owner can throw the waste to the correct bin, and provide the automation on classifying process at the public waste bin, and lastly, to reduce the cost of managing the domestic waste. Secondly, to build the smart waste segregation system which have the safety features in the user interface such as children-friendly user interface. Lastly, to apply machine learning method to segregate the waste by image input where decision making on classifying made by the system, and be able to attract public on dispose the domestic waste according its type. Next, I will explain about our component that has been used in this final year project. We go to the hardware. So firstly, for the hardware things, we have Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi is the microprocessor which process and do the decision making process before execute the result. So next, we have Raspberry Pi camera. Raspberry Pi camera in this project as the input where it will capture the image of the object placed in the model and send it into processor to identify it. And lastly, we have LCD screen. LCD screen in this project as the output which shows the result. So next, we go to the software. So for the software that has been used in this project, firstly is the teachable machine. Teachable machine is the software which undergoes the training model process to the input and run the system in the microprocessor. Next, we have FreeZing. FreeZing is the software to sketching the schematic diagram. And next, we have BNC Viewer. BNC Viewer is function in this project to running the operation system of Raspberry Pi. And lastly, we have OpenCV and TensorFlow to run the learning module packet file.
Next, we are moving to the final result. This is the block diagram. We are start this project by collecting and processing the big data. Next, after that, we train the model. Next, predict result and execute the result. So, for this project, we run the big data process and training model at the teachable machine tool, the tool that run the learning process and training model. Once the training model is done, then we will install it into the Raspberry Pi. After the installation process is done, then the model can be run. So, when the model is run, the Pi camera will start capturing the image of the object that be inserted into the model. So, the images will be sent into the microprocessor Raspberry Pi to do the prediction process. Once the prediction process is done, then it will execute the result in the screen. As you can see, here it write the banana is disposable, so the user can know the type of the waste. After that, the user can throw it into the correct bin, which is this disposable bin. So this is the prototype development, starting from the software until the hardware.
Next, I will explain about uniqueness and novelty of this project. Based on the table shown in this slide, our type, which is the Smart Waste Segregation System, is the best system because it meets the 3 criteria, which is the identify waste type, friendly user interface, and AI implementation. I will explain about our conclusion.
So next, we are moving to the project demonstration, how it's work. Let us.
Assalamualaikum and hi. So today I would like to show the model of Smart Waste Segregation System where it will classify the type of waste that we want to throw. So today we have 3 types of waste bin, which is recyclable, disposable and e-waste. So the model is run by the microprocessor Raspberry Pi and the input is the camera to capture the image of the object being inserted into the model, and the output will show at the screen here. Since we have no LCD screens, so we use laptop screen. So let us move to the first model. We have banana here, so we put banana into the model, and as you can see here in the screen, it shows banana is disposable. So by applying this model, we know that the banana is disposable type, so we can take it and throw it into the correct bin, which is disposable bin. So for the second sample, we have book here, so we put book into the system. So as you can see here, it shows book is recyclable. So from the model, we know that the book is recyclable type, so we can take it and throw it into the correct bin, which is recyclable. So third sample, we have smartphone here. Let's say it broke and cannot be on, so we put here. So we don't know whether it's recyclable or e-waste or what. So by using this model, we know that smartphone is e-waste. So we know that smartphone is e-waste, so we can take it and throw it into the correct bin. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, that's all. Thank you.